bum bum
2, 3.
bum 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 chicka bum 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 chicka bum 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 chicka bum 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 chicka bum 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 chicka bum bum
Today we're talking about episode number 2. The series has landed. This is the episode where they all get in the ship and they go to the moon, and there's a theme park on the moon.
Yes. Yep.
And that's what we're talking about today, is a theme park on the moon.
Oh man, I feel like I already have the theme song, or not the Futurama theme song, the Whalers song in my head.
Yeah,
We're
lay it on
whalers
me.
on the moon. We carry a harpoon, but there ain't no whale, so we tell tall tales and sing our whaling tune.
Love it. Yes, you took me there. I asked for you to take me for a ride, and you gave me a ride. Yes.
Heck
Good.
yeah.
When it comes to putting a theme park on the moon, that's all they could think to do. They're like, the moon, it's a big, vast wasteland. What can we do with it? Yeah, we'll have some settlements here and there, but really, we're going to put a theme park up there.
I mean, why not? I mean, like, it feels like that was like maybe the first thing that they did when they were like able to travel in space, like even just a little bit without like huge chunks of time. Because why not? I mean, theme parks are wildly popular. At least in the States they are. I don't know about overseas. But like, imagine going on a roller coaster in much less gravity. Like, I don't like roller coasters myself, but maybe it would be more fun in that way. Theoretically,
You get like an almost vertical drop on those. I suppose that building a theme park on the moon is actually a really great idea, because you have to give people a reason to go to the moon.
mm-hmm.
Once the thrill of going into space wears off, and once the thrill of going to the moon wears off, why do you go there? So Futurama takes place 1,000 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we've got billionaires launching off in their own private rockets into space, barely space, but still space,
Mm-hmm.
for like 11 minutes so they can float around and be weightless for a little bit. But as technology advances, the thrill of that is going to get old really fast.
Yeah, I think beyond like your first time, like after that, it's kind of that level of diminishing returns after you do a thing enough. Like, going to the moon would be great the first instance, but like, especially if there's like, nothing like, I don't know if this is true for any of the astronauts who first went on the moon, but like, I wonder if they went on any subsequent journeys, they're like, well, there's his footprint, and there's some dust and a couple of rocks. Oh, look, a crater. I haven't seen that before. Like, it just feels like it would be boring. So I think you would have to add some level of something. And I feel like the amusement park that at least in Futurama feels like the lazy of laziness. Like, they just threw something out there so that somebody could make money.
It does. The theme park on Futurama, it has, the Goofy Gopher Review, which is
Yeah.
basically just a bunch of gopher puns. But hey, it's on the moon, so they have historically inaccurate tours. It's basically like a real crappy Disneyland.
And thinking just ahead in our own future, as soon as space travel becomes popular, I'm merging Australian and Scottish. As soon as space travel becomes a viable form of travel, Disney is going to get up there and try and throw something up there like Pirates of the Caribbean on the moon or something like that.
I think it's very, very possible, and may I say likely, that in real life, the first theme park on the moon, it will be opened and run by the Disney Corporation.
They've got the capital to do it. I mean, I'm sure they would. Somebody out there would like buy. I'm sure at some point you'll be able to like buy a lot, like a space on the moon. Like, if Disney doesn't buy the moon outright, which I don't know how you would even price that. to be honest.
I think right now the moon is supposed to be international territory that you cannot sell. But, you know, capitalism being what it is, I'm sure that eventually they'll work their way around that.
Yeah, most likely. Until we can start.
Cynicism alert! Included in the theme park on the moon, because, you know, the moon is boring by itself, so they have to jazz it up a little bit. There's like an arcade there. So arcade at the moon. First of all, skee ball. They've got skee ball on the moon. What do you think? Is that going to be harder or easier?
I mean, in theory, it would be possibly a little bit easier depending on where the gravity is at. If they have, pockets like inside the park where gravity is the same as it is on Earth, skee ball relies so heavily on trying to get the right momentum and the right angle to make it into one of those holes. And without gravity, or without maybe perhaps the strength of gravity that is on Earth, I don't know if those would land in the holes as well.
I'm sorry,
maybe
Tim,
like
the correct answer was harder.
I should have gone for the short answer.
They also have virtual skee ball.
That would be easier, I would think.
Yes, much easier on the moon. They also have virtual skee ball.
That sounds like it's complicated.
You are pretending to play a computer game that is skee ball.
At what point during that do you not know whether or not you are in the game? Yeah. I think that's the risk you run.
Yeah, that way lies madness, and you do not want to go mad on the moon.
No, moon mad is a special type of madness.
They also have the 1,000 years in the future version of Mortal Kombat, which is called Mortal Cooperation, spelled with K.
I didn't remember. That must have been in the background. I don't remember them playing that. I kind of like that, though.
They have gender neutral pack person.
I like it.
And they have dodecapede. The extra legs make it harder.
I believe it.
And that is, of course, also in the episode is the ever-present claw machine, because in 1,000 years, they still haven't gotten rid of the damn claw machine. If you had to put together one attraction for the theme park on the moon, what would you do?
I think that I would go with something crater-based. Just because there seems to be an abundance of craters.
If you're looking for craters, the moon's the place for it.
Exactly. I think it might be. I'm really not a sports person, but I could envision something called maybe like crater ball or something that is played in the actual like environment. You have to wear like spacesuits, and I don't know exactly what kind of sport it would play out to be like. But I think that would be like the attraction.
For me, it's going to have to be an all-you-can-eat cheese buffet. All of the best cheeses of Earth, as well as some cheeses of the moon. I'm assuming that there is a cheese production facility there somewhere. But if there's anything that's going to get me off Earth and to the moon, it's going to be cheese buffet.
One that might be fun and possibly disastrous, the moon version of Jurassic Park.
So you're talking dinosaurs on the moon.
Moonosaurs.
We're dinosaurs on the moon. You know, if you're going to put together a Jurassic Park, the moon is the best place to do it. They're safely contained, much better than some island.
Unless you program in their genetics a way to live in space without breathing, and they become super intelligent and fly the spaceship back to Earth.
Oh, they were so concerned with whether they could. They didn't think about whether they should. Now that I think about it, this moon theme park is a terrible idea and will lead to all of our destruction.
But John, they spared no expense.
They spared no expense. 2, 3.